Good evening to one and all present here. My name is Chinmayi and I'm from 10th ICC batch.
My name is Swathi. I am from CBSE.
So today we'll be speaking about what is physics. So physics is a branch of science that is associated with nature and the properties of matter and energy. The main goal of physics is to explain how things move in space and in time and understand how the universe behaves. Physics is derived from the Greek word which means nature. It can also be defined as the department of knowledge which relates to the order of nature, or in other words, to the regular succession of events.
How was physics started? Physics is the main goal is to understand how the universe behaves. Modern physics was started around 20th century. Thales was the first physicist to give the name for the physics. He believed that the world is made up of different types of things, but the world is made up of only one element, that is water.
History and evolution. Nicholas Copernicus. So Nicholas Copernicus was a Polish astronomer, was born in 1473. He argued about the heliocentric model of the solar system in 1543, which helped people to render tables for the charting planetary motion and to simplify their production.
Rene Descartes. Rene Descartes is influenced in mathematics, is equally apparent to the Cartesian coordinate system. It is followed by the algebraic equations, and it is expressed in the geometric shapes in two dimensional coordinate system. It was named after him. He was given as the father of the analytical geometry. Analytical geometry is the bridge between algebra and geometry, and it led to the important discovery of calculus and analysis.
ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಡ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹಿಂದಕ್ ಕುತ್ಕೊಳೋದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಹಿಂದಕ್ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾರ.
Who is this? So ask them to keep muted, no? Whoever you identify.
ಹಾ
Ask them to keep muted. Who is this?
ಮ್ಯೂಟಾ
That is Manjunath sir.
ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ವಂತಲ್ಲ ರೀ.
Is he muted?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, you can go ahead now.
Sir Isaac Newton. Newton basically gave three laws of motion which helped us to study about the motion of objects. It did not only help us to study about the falling objects on the body, but it also helped us to study about the universe. He also invented an entirely new branch of science called calculus. This became useful for developing other branches of physics. Branches of physics. Physics can be classified into various branches, but the two main branches are classical physics and modern physics. Let us discuss about each. Classical physics. Classical physics is one of the popular branches of physics. It deals with the laws of motion and gravitation. It is termed as the physics which was studied before 1900s. The theories which were not valid in the modern physics were termed as classical physics. In classical physics, the energy and matter are considered as separate entities.
Modern physics. Modern physics is concerned with the theory of relativity. Albert Einstein was the discoverer of the modern physics, and he was the first scientist to introduce the theory of relativity. Unlike classical physics, modern physics is not considered that energy and matter are the separate entities.
Nuclear physics. Nuclear physics is a branch of science which helps us to study about the constituents, structure, behavior, and the interactions of atomic nuclei. It is completely different from the atomic physics. The principles of this branch are useful in other research areas. It is mainly used in power generations, nuclear weapons, medicines, magnetic resonance, industrial and agriculture, isotopes, and many more. It was discovered by Henry Becquerel.
Atomic physics. Atomic physics deals with the composition of atom apart from the nucleus. It is concerned with the arrangement of electrons that revolve around the shells.
Geophysics. Geophysics helps us to study about the earth, like the structure of the earth, composition, and the shape of the earth. Geophysicists are the one who study about the geophysics. They study about the gravitational force, magnetic fields, earthquakes, and many more. Geophysics is further divided into branches, that is seismology, volcanology, geothermal studies, tectonics, geomagnetism, hydrology, oceanography, atmospheric sciences, planetary science, and mineral physics. Geophysics has many other practical applications.
Biophysics. Biophysics study is the study of biological problems and structure of DNA molecules in living organisms. One of the greatest achievements of the biophysics is the discovery of the structure of DNA. DNA was discovered by James Watson. Examples like biophysics has been essential to the development of many life-saving treatments, like devices like kidney dialysis, radiation therapy, pacemakers, and artificial heart valves.
Mechanics. Mechanics is another important branch of which helps us to study about the motion of objects. It can further be divided into two branches, that is classical mechanics and quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics is based on the behavior of small particles of atoms like electrons, protons, and neutrons. Whereas in classical physics, we study about the laws of motion.
Acoustics.
Whenever you use the hammer, or let's say when we are trying to hit a nail, we are applying force on the nail. When the hammer at rest, it does not have any kinetic energy, but it has potential energy. So when we are trying to hit the nail with the hammer, the kinetic energy converts into the potential energy converts into kinetic energy, and this conversion is called mechanical energy. Another interesting example is about bowling. When we go for bowling, the bowling ball possesses mechanical energy. It contains some sort of kinetic energy, but when we start rolling it towards the target, it moves due to the force which is applied, and this force is the mechanical energy.
Acoustics. It mainly involves the mechanical waves in gases, liquids, and the solids, and it deals with the study of how the sound is produced, transmitted, received, and controlled. Acoustics is derived from the Greek word account, meaning to hear. It also deals with the effect of sound in different mediums like ultrasound, infrasound, vibration, etc. There are many appliances of acoustical devices are easy to find in the world around you, like televisions, radios, compact disc compact disc players, tape recorders, etc.
Optics. Optic is a branch of science which helps us to study about the behavior, propagation, and properties of light. We can also simply describe it as the study of behavior of infrared light or visible light rays. It also includes the study of sight. We use optics almost every day. For example, in our digital camera, wireless mouse, or even in the Blu-ray disc of your favorite movie. All these are enabled by the science of optics, like microscopes. Telescopes also use convex lenses to produce enlarged images. Telescopes have enlarged images show enlarged images like distant stars. They appear small because they are far away from us. There are two types of telescopes, that is reflecting telescope and refracting telescopes. Both of them differ in how they collect light, but both have convex lenses to form enlarged images.
Thermodynamics. It deals with the study of heat and temperature. The field was developed by Nicholas Leonard Sadi Carnot. Kelvin was the first to come up with the definition of thermodynamics. His definition stated that thermodynamics is a subject of relation of heat to forces acting between the contagious parts of body and the relation of heat. Long ago, thermodynamics was used to increase the efficiency in engines by the streamers, which were made by streams.
Astrophysics. Astrophysics is a branch of science which helps us study about the laws of physics and the universe, like stars, planets, and galaxies. It is defined. It is a combination of two Latin words, astro and physicist, where astro means star and physicist means nature. People often get confused between astronomers and astrophysics because the word astro is present. Technically speaking, astronomers are the ones who measure the positions and characteristics of the celestial bodies, whereas astrophysics uses the application of physics to understand astronomy. But nowadays, we can use the words interchangeably because astronomers also use physics to conduct few of their researches. Significance. Physics is the foundation of many other important disciplines and contributes directly to others. Most of the engineering branches are also applied to physics. Now, a lot of times we think that physics is only limited to certain things like cosmological phenomena or getting rockets into space, but it is not. Physics is the foundation for all the other sciences. Like when we think about chemistry, at the end of the day, it is just the relation between the atoms. But these relations are also based on physics. All complex phenomena which we see around us, like galaxy, or when we look at oceans, all these are based on physics. When we think about physics, we actually don't know who invented physics, but there are some of few foundational thinkers of physics, like Sir Isaac Newton, Max Planck, and Albert Einstein. The foundation of physics has been under constant revision, which remains still today. The discussion for these issues is still in progress with the knowledge and mathematics. The quantum properties of gravity, the nature of measurement in quantum properties, all these play a major role in physics. But these examples do not have answers, but if we get, they are well more demanded than skilled mathematics, new experiments.
Uses of physics. Physics is at work in everywhere. Inside the body also, physics is at work. Sound. Sound is something that you can't hear, can't see, but you only hear or experience. Small speakers in your headphones are use electricity and moving magnets to create sound waves. The sound waves that come from the speakers bounce off your eardrums, which your brain interprets as music. Your brain uses the waves to interrupt where a sound is coming from and how loud it is.
Camera lens. The phenomenon of selfie has engulfed people of every age. People entertain themselves by clicking photos. But does anyone know how does a camera lens work and what is it made up of? Camera lens is used in the camera based on the principle of optics. It is provided with convex lenses which helps us to click an image outside of the camera.
Cell phones. Cell phones. There is no adult without cell phone. Even children below 5 years are using cell phones. Cell phones have become like oxygen. Cell phones are used to convey urgent messages or do gossips. Do you know how the cell phone works? It works on the principle of electricity and electromagnetic spectrum, undulating patterns of electricity and magnetism.
Heat energy. Heat is a form of energy which transfers from a warmer substance to a colder one. Let's take an example when we are cooking food on a stove. The coil from the stove transfers heat energy to the pan which is placed on top of it. Similarly, the pan transfers heat to the food which is kept inside and makes the food warm.
Seat belt. When your body is moving, it takes more powerful force to cause it to stop moving. But as the car, your seat belt holding you tightly to your seat is the strong force that prevents your body from continuing to move when you hit the brakes. Without the seat belt, a sudden stop can send you out of your seat.
Walking is one of the most important physical activity that every person requires in his or her life. But have you ever wondered why you don't usually fall when you walk on a park or a tar road? This is because you have good grip between the sole of your shoes and the surface of the road. There is some sort of between the sole of your shoes and the surface of the road for which you don't fall, and this is called friction.
Steam iron. The steam iron is such a machine that uses a lot of physics to make it go. The foremost principle of steam iron is heat. Ironing works by having a heated metal base. Ballpoint pen. The ball turns and gravity forces the ink down to the top of the ball where it is transferred onto the paper. Conclusion. In general, the thought process about physics is that it revolves around principles, techniques, and applications. The laws of nature can be used to predict the behavior of the world and all kinds of machinery. Many of the everyday technological inventions that we now take for granted resulted from discoveries in physics. The basic laws in physics are universal, but in our time is such a vast field that many subfields are almost regarded as a separate sciences. Finally, I would like to thank Vikas sir for giving this opportunity to us to know about this subject. This was very useful for us. We hope this was very useful for you also. Thank you.
Thank you.